Saturday, 28th of June, 2025 at 1:14 p.m. here in Snohomish, Washington, United States of America. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It is your Devin Design podcast highlighting how two gentle folk made the world's best astrology software. I am Gentlefolk Designer, the designer Jake. He is Gentlefolk, the engineer Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, the designer Jake.
You probably are not the engineer anymore because we have an intern. So.
That's true. We at least have to acknowledge that there is another person in engineering at the moment.
Exactly. So for a little bit of time, you're not going to be the engineer. You're going to be an engineer.
Engineer.
So the designer Jake, an engineer Trey.
Historical engineer.
Exactly. Well, welcome to the episode. Today's episode is called Persisting the Chaos. We are not only showing you persistence within software, but also our persistence to actually make something that goes into your lovely hands. We will be doing the check-in today for Mr. Henry. We'll show you some progress we have with the chart. We will talk mostly about persistence in software, but you know us, we love talking about emotional things. So maybe those will come up and then we'll give you thanks. But before we get to all of that, of course, we always start with the check-in question. Mr. Henry, take us away.
So my question is, what is a book that you wish you read sooner?
So I would say this book, which only came out in 2024, but has been very instrumental in helping me to relate to other people that have neurodivergence that I don't fully have a lived experience for. It's called ADHD Pro. It is written by a gentleman named Robert Merki, which I think he's only written one book. He's very technological in his career. And so it's just written like a software engineer would write a book about ADHD, which the reason why it's so helpful to me is because of this one down here, because it helps me to understand what is going on in Trey's lived experience. And while I don't take everything that gentleman says and apply it to Trey, when Trey acts in a certain way that might be foreign to me, I say, I wonder if this has to do with neurodivergence. And so things like this that help me to relate to other people's lived experiences helps me to better contextualize them as a whole human being. And any book like this is probably something that I should have read earlier. I will give a shout out also to Women, Race, and Class by Angela Y. Davis, because it taught me about the historical context of women and race and feminism and slavery and things that are not so great about that whole lived experience. That gives me a lot more empathy for them. So that's what I think I would say for that one.
Yeah, nice. Books that boost empathy.
A booster of empathy. It's like your empathy COVID shot. You have to get it once a year, and you should have gotten it earlier. Get it once a year, at least. What about
the best time to get it is the time that you just had it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like working out. Nobody wants to do it, but everybody's happy that they did.
Exactly.
Mine's in a similar vein. I think I would go with Brene Brown's Atlas of the Heart.
Oh yeah, I love that book.
Yeah, it's a really good book, and I think it's if I had read it earlier, I think I would have had better vocabulary and a better understanding of how to name and understand particular emotions for better relating to other people. So I think that's a key. That was a real game changer of a book for me.
For sure. One emotion, by the way, that you all are mislabeling is jealousy, because you actually mean envy by jealousy. If you have feelings about a person and their relationship with another person, that is jealousy. If you have feelings about a person and their circumstance, or their abilities, or their characteristics, that's envy. If they're on vacation and you wish you were there, or you wish that they weren't there, that's envy, not jealousy. And I see that mislabeled all over the place. The book that I recommended last week called The Let Them Theory mislabels jealousy all over the place. And I have to substitute envy for jealousy in there. And it's very helpful. But I agree. Having a vocabulary for your emotions so you can talk about your emotional state, I think is incredibly helpful. And I do wish that I had that earlier as well. So yeah, good check-in, everybody.
Yeah,
good check-in.
Good check-in. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the demo. And we're going to start with Mr. Henry talking a little bit about what he had done this week. Trey, Take it away.
Jake.
Yeah.
So this week I got the angles into the chart. And this required a little bit of refactor, which I'll talk about in just a second. But just to do the demo, I'm going to walk through the first run experience a couple of times so that I can select the 2 different perspectives that we currently support. We will have more at launch, as we've talked about in the past. But just quickly going through here, I'm going to pick Hellenistic in this case and pick a default location. Hey, Lakeland, Florida. Why not? And then cast this chart. So here we're seeing whole sign houses. And we are seeing the lines for the angles and the glyphs for the angles. Jake's cool little circle glyphs with the line.
Oh,
super,
yes.
super nice. But everybody will mostly recognize this. But this time it's implemented quite a bit better and takes more into account the way in which the various parts of the chart have to render. We are now rendering from the outside in, and we allot space based on what is needed for each band, basically, of the chart. And this works out a lot better. So yeah, you could imagine that if you had, if we turned off the houses, for example, then we would, if we turned off the houses and the angles, then we would not be showing this outer band, and the outside circle here would actually fill up the entire space.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Code to come. It's happening.
Yeah. And also the way that the code is written now is it's a lot more understandable and easy to follow thanks to the tooling that we're using, primarily Redux and Redux Toolkit, which are state management for React, which gives us a great way of using selectors, what are called selectors, in order to get the data that we actually want to get out of the state, and doing that in a encapsulated and canonical manner, and then being able to update that with reducers. It's just very easy to understand what's going on and what changed what, and yeah, it just works really nicely. So I'm very happy with that, and we did some refactoring in this cycle to get that to a better state,
to get the state store all into a better state as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'll just quickly show here as well. I'm going to ignore the man behind the curtain again. I am going to just very quickly reset the state here, and then I'll show what it looks like with quadrant-based house system. And so here we're looking at Placidus houses, and we also have all the seven traditional planets, the 2 luminaries and the 5, plus the external 3, the invisible outer planets. And you can see here that we're showing Placidus houses, and then the cusp of the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th are all
the angles
marked. Yeah. So so this is pretty standard view here. And as we talked about before, and as we were showing in the whole sign houses, we also always orient the horizontal line of the chart to the ascendant descendant, never to the 1st house cusp. And that is extremely important when looking at whole sign houses.
It just looks better, makes more sense.
Yeah, it puts the horizon on the horizon.
We've heard this from astrologers, so we're going to do it.
Yeah.
If we hear it from you, we're going to do it. To that end, if you are an astrologer and you are interested in letting us know how we can better develop tools and services for you in your practice, let us know. You can email us at hello@cosmic.plumbing, or just leave a comment here on YouTube. We'll get back to you. We love having the conversations with you all. I sent this out in a newsletter email as well, so hopefully we can get more practitioners talking with us. We are not here to sell you anything. We are not here to make judgments about what you're doing. We just want to listen and talk. And I will say that making connections with new people is just really an interesting, fun way to live your life. And so the more that we can connect with interesting people, the more joy that we get in our lives, and hopefully we can provide you some joy as well.
Yeah.
So just let us know.
Community. It's great.
It's a thing. Adult friends. They're hard to make. And so let's make some adult friends together and make better software in the process.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're here to make great software. We're here for the community as well, and we are practitioners. We would like to have a relationship with the rest of the community.
Great software, great friends. Feels like a Taster's Choice commercial.
With all that said, Jake Zukowski,
With all of that,
what should the good viewer do today?
go change a light bulb. There's one light bulb in your house right now that's burnt out, and it's been burnt out for like 3 months, maybe longer. And today's the day. Go change that light bulb and
But be careful on the ladder.
Be careful on the ladder. Hey, ladder safety. It's the primary thing that we care about in this podcast. Be well, take care. Be safe on those ladders. Have yourself a lovely weekend or whatever day you're watching this video. We hope to see you again next week. We love you very much, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.